Alright guys, this is Dave. Just picked up my new bike about 2 days ago. It is the 2013 Suzuki DRZ400SM Supermoto. It's a bike that a lot of people have been waiting a long time for. They stopped selling them here in the States for a few years, and then they told us they were bringing them back last year, and they never materialized. So a lot of people, have been waiting. I myself was waiting since December. They kept saying, "Oh, the bike's on the way. Oh, now the bike's in the warehouse, 2 hours away. It'll be here this week. It'll be here this week." And that's how it went for about a month and a half, 2 months almost. And I get a call the other day. My sales guy's out of breath because he ran from the back, and all excited that my bike was here. Told me to come get it, so I came down. I got to see it still in the crate, and they put it together. And it was rainy, and I have an injury, so I trailered it home for its first voyage. But I've taken it out for a couple short rides now, and it's a pretty great bike. I love it. It feels like you're riding a big BMX. If you know a bit about the older DRZs, then you know a bit about this bike. Not really much of anything has changed in several years, except for the colors. Got the new blue anodized wheels. This color scheme has actually been around for a few years in other markets. One thing I really dislike, and it appears it's the United States is the only place that gets stuck with this brick of a taillight. It's pretty awful. It looks like something out of the 70s. It looks like something off of a tractor from the 70s, honestly. And the only reason I can think that they have this on the United States bike is because of that reflector right there on each side. And U.S. safety rules might be a little more stringent. But don't worry about that. I have a sleeker taillight that'll tuck up under. If any of you, know or want to know, it's the DRC, not DRZ, DRC Edge 2. They make one specific for this bike so that it goes on real easy. So I was saying the other markets get a taillight it still sticks out, but it's kind of sleeker and kind of sticks down like the Honda, sort of like the Honda CRF 250L taillight. Anyway, as you can see, I've done a couple little mods. First and most obvious are these handguards. They're the Cycras that pretty much everybody loves. I went with these because they have a full wraparound, nice thick aluminum bar that will protect the controls in the event of a crash. I go down. It also has a slider on the side, which this will get beat up instead of the aluminum if you go down, and you can replace this. One thing to note, if you get these, the factory clutch lever can hang up. I don't know if you can see where it's hitting there, right there. So you get two options. One is get a shorter lever, which I'm going to do. I'm getting a short lever that's maybe about that long. But for now, I'm just going to grind a little bit off the edge of that with a file so it doesn't hit anymore. It's not a big deal. If you pull up on the lever when you're pulling it, it clears it. I imagine if I tilted this down a little bit, it would probably clear too, but I like them where they are. What else have I done? Oh, I took the tool bag off the back. And I also removed the chain guard, but unfortunately it left these two ugly tabs. So I'm looking at either aftermarket options, or I'm going to grind those off to at least get the big, dangerous, sharp edge sticking out. I took that off just because, well, the DRZ's, a Supermoto's a dirt bike. Dirt bikes don't have that. So why should my Supermoto? I don't get my foot stuck in there on the dirt bike. I'm not going to get my foot stuck in there on the Supermoto. I also, there's a, back where the taillight is, the taillight kind of comes down to about here with a reflector, and that looks awful. So for a quick fix, I just took a razor knife and heated it up bright red and sliced through that plastic. It's just plastic. You can just cut it and break it off. I have a couple parts waiting to go on. I have a full exhaust system. It's a MRD stainless and aluminum SSW, and I have a 39mm flat slide carb, that gets you somewhere right around, it looks like about 6 horsepower at the wheel, 5 or 6. There's a thread on Thumper Talk, which if you're not familiar with is a really great 4-stroke bike, forum community. And I'm getting the Thumper Talk case guards, but there's the case guards, what they do is there a plate that goes over this and it stops. DRZs have this habit, if you can see here how small the gap is, they have this habit, if the bike goes over, this comes in and punches a hole in the case, and it does the same thing on the shifter side. So what that does is it just protects it from going on. If I remember, I'll put a link in the comment section for that. I'll put a link for the exhaust system. I am going to remove these reflectors as well. I know they're there for safety reasons, but they're ugly. I have a few more mods coming. I'll make an update video once they get here. And I think that's about it. So just wanted to get this video out there because I think I actually might have been one of the first people in the country to get their hands on the 2013 bike, even though Canadians and Europeans have had this exact bike for years, starting with 2010 it was an identical bike. Literally nothing changed except for the model year on the plate. Same thing in Canada, they had these as the 2012, I think probably as the 2011, and I know as the 2010 as well. But I don't look at that as a downside. I look at it as it's a great design that works well. It's not the fastest Supermoto, but it's fast enough. The key with this bike is that there's so much of an aftermarket, so much support for it. You can really customize it to your own ways. And it's just a very reliable bike. If you take care of it, this bike lasts a long, long time. You can see my YZ in the background. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to this channel. I'm going to get a camera set up and start doing some moto vlogging here shortly. But for now, this is my bike. Sorry the lighting isn't a little better in here. Could have done outside, but I thought the neighbors might think, hey, there's a crazy guy walking around in his driveway talking to himself, but living next to me, they're probably used to that. So thanks a lot, guys.